The poor young man started his first day working in the wealthy district, but the scene in front of him left him stunned. The lower class is simply not fit to work alongside the rich. People like him, the workers, can only work below, while the upper class, who earn over $10,000 a month, work above on the ceiling. Jim had just arrived at his workstation when he was called to the CEO's office by the secretary from the upper class. After entering the office, the first thing he had to do was fasten his seatbelt, because the CEO wanted to meet him as an equal and introduce him to the company's rules and regulations. It turns out that in the future world, people are divided into two worlds. The upper world is prosperous and rich, while the lower world is dark and poor. And the only passage connecting the two worlds is the latter group where Jim works. Lower class employees are not allowed to interact with the upper world. Otherwise, they will face legal consequences. Jim agreed and signed the contract. But he wasn't going to follow the rules, because he came here to work to get into the upper world and search for his girlfriend who disappeared 10 years ago. A few days ago, he saw a recruitment ad on TV, and unexpectedly, he saw his girlfriend. In order to find out more about her, Jim struck up a conversation with an old employee from the upper world in the smoking room. George agreed to help Jim gather stamps from the lower world, on the condition that he'd help Jim find out about his girlfriend. So Jim started traveling back and forth every day between the company and the lower world. While secretly collecting stamps for George, he also secretly kept anti-gravity, antimatter, because this stuff could make his body flip upside down. One day, Jim finally heard news of his girlfriend. He was extremely excited. He strapped the iron blocks he'd collected to his legs and hid them in his socks. Then he took the remaining blocks and put them into the hidden layers of his clothes. After putting on his shoes, his body suddenly floated in midair. He was standing on the ceiling. Jim quickly changed into a suit. Then he covered up all the traces. He rushed out through the fire exit. He ran along the ceiling all the way. The moment he opened the door to the upper world, he saw a familiar figure. Jim went straight up to greet her, but he discovered that she didn't recognize him at all. It turned out that Anna had been in an accident, and she had developed severe amnesia. In order to make Anna remember him, Jim had no choice but to pretend to be her colleague. He took out the anti-aging cream he had developed himself, which successfully piqued Anna's interest. Their relationship began to become complicated. But during the company's product seminar, things took a turn. Employees from both the upper and lower worlds were gathered together to witness the research results of the anti-aging cream. However, at that moment, Anna suddenly walked in. She recognized the figure from the lower world as someone very familiar. After finding out she had been deceived, Anna angrily left. The next day, Jim found her again. Just as he was about to make up a lie, Anna surprisingly forgave him. It turns out that the shock from yesterday made her recall her previous memories. Two people from different worlds reunited once again.